hour to 1.5 or something. And then the rest of that time is for you to do the assignment for the day in here while we're in here so we can answer your questions as you're going through it. Anyone here, I know you did, anyone here who has not been able to access their GitHub repo? Okay. Anyone here in that group that did not receive an email for that? People who did not receive an email, are you in Slack? You're in our group Slack? Okay. That's fine. You could, in the group Slack channel, you can either find me, I'm either JP Wright or John Paul Wright. I mean, I am John Paul Wright, but I'm one of those two in the Slack channel. You can message me your email or your name, and I can try and look up your email, make sure we've got the right one, and we'll fire that off to you. Okay, as for everyone in here, if you do not have a fully functioning GitHub and or IPython, Anaconda installation, whatever, raise your hand and we will come help you. Okay, I'm starting back over there because you said over here. Just keep your hands up and we'll come hit you up. And I gotta fire off these emails. One second. Forward means make a copy of this onto my account. So we're going to click forward. Now I already have it, so my profile would actually, my picture would be right here, and I would click my profile picture. It's notifying me, hey, you already have a fork, John Paul, of this repository right here. So I'm going to click on it. Okay? And it's the same thing, it's just a copy, but now you notice up here, this is not G School, is it? This is my account. So this is my copy, and it says right beneath it, I'm going to highlight it here, it says where it came from. So my copy came from the G School copy. Okay? Now, once we're here, the final step is we're going to clone this. Okay, you have options for HTTPS and SSH. Each has different ups or downs. When you guys had to enter the little password in your terminal, and it gave you the blank entry, which looked like nothing, but you're actually typing. That is actually a result of using HTTPS. If you use SSH, you don't have to do that, but there's actually a more complicated back end to using SSH, so we're going to use HTTPS. All right, so what we do, this is really simple. We're going to go here, right? We're going to copy the clipboard right here, which just copies this link. Copy the clipboard, it's copied, and wherever my terminal is, right here, let's clear it off. Okay. We would navigate to where you want. So for me, I have a shortcut for desktop. I'm going to desktop. In case you don't know where you are, PWD, print working directory. It tells me, where am I? It says, oh hey, I'm on the desktop. Great. So now the command is git clone, and now I do paste, whatever that is on your machine, because we just copied that link on the website, whatever paste is, and then I would hit enter. And it's going to download it into a folder in the directory we are, in this case, the desktop. Right? Does this make sense? Is anyone confused? Have I lost anyone? I mean, it's very simple, I know, but if Git is new to you, it can still be a little confusing. Okay. Key point, once you get this on your desktop, so just pretend this guy right here is really the repository I just cloned right here. It's going to come up in a folder. Once you get this on your desktop, you can rename it. You can move it anywhere you want. No problem. The reason is there are a couple of hidden files inside, since you cloned it and created it from GitHub. There are a couple of hidden files that basically are like, what's the right word, guys? Antenna or radar or whatever the right word is, I can't think of right now. They communicate, they communicate to GitHub itself.com, right? To your account where it came from. You can change where it actually communicates to and all sorts of stuff. But basically it's in there. And so it doesn't matter where on your computer it is or what the name is. It's that hidden file that talks to GitHub. So whenever you add new stuff into this folder, like say we came out here, assignment number 2, and we put it into this folder, right? Then we would do what Gretchen showed you. Git add, git commit, git push. That's the triplet of our commands to process it back up. It'll push that up to the right place, right? We'll have a new file. It'll say, hey, new file detected, assignment 2, and we would add it, commit it, and push it up. Okay? Does that make sense? The flow of how that works? That's for your file, or for your repository. You do not have to push a single thing in this class. I pushed squadoosh when I was in this. I didn't do anything about pushing up. I just have the lecture material, and then I kept on my local machine my little edits and my attempts at assignments and stuff. I don't need that up there, right? No one's grading it. I don't need it up there. I have it. It was just for learning experience. Okay, do you want to have difficulty doing that? Does everyone have a local copy of the entire class now on your computer? Okay, all source data files that you need will be in there. It's arranged by week. Week 1, that has day 1, day 2. Week 2, day 3, day 4. You get the idea. Everything's in there that you need. Last note, I know someone over here, red jacket, I forget the name, had problems doing Jupyter notebooks. Let's go back to GitHub and I'll show you why. Week 1. Get Unix. Okay, everyone up here, please. This is small. When I lecture on Thursday, I'll make it bigger. I'm not even messing with it right now. We see .ipynb. That's the file type, right? These are .md. That's markdown. Some may or may not be familiar with this. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful note-taking format. It's like a shortcut for HTML. Excellent, 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 excellent. But .ipynb stands for .ipython notebook, now called Jupyter Notebook, okay? But the extension is still .ipynb. I'm going to click on this file and show you. This is what Gretchen showed you earlier when like you typed in code in these little cells and it actually ran the code, right? Which is neat. All right, I'm going to show you how that works. Again, for anyone that had a slight hang up, I know we had some people. If you just click the file in GitHub and look at it, this is not active, right? This is a static file. It's just saying, hey, here's the text in that file. If you want to run it, you have to find where it is. So I'm going to make this up again. Pretend this is whatever this Python fundamentals folder, and I go in here and there's week 1, right? Pretend I go in here and there's week 1, boom. I would navigate to that place in here, change directory, and I'm making this up, you know, the right spot, whatever. Okay, we go there and say I did that, say I'm there now. I would do ls, and it would say, you know, one of these files would be .ipynb here. When you're in the right directory with the actual .ipython notebook, you type Jupyter Notebook here, and it launches it in your web browser. Does that make sense? Right? So like you navigate to the directory and you say Python space, whatever the Python file is, right? Like we did earlier to run a Python script. Instead, you just navigate to the spot and you type Jupyter space notebook, and it launches that interactive notebook where you actually get to code in the cells. And your Your lectures will be interactive coming up, and you will want to do that to follow through the lectures, go through the notebook, and mess with it as the lecture's going on. I will do that in a few. I use IPython almost strictly though, because it's easier for me. And the notebooks are wonderful lecture materials, but God, they drive me crazy half the time because I don't mess with them enough. What's up?
If you had 2 IPython notebook files in one directory, you need to specify which file to open.
Great question. In fact, I think I'm just going to make this really easy here. I'll, just in case anyone, I got a couple of blank looks which to me denoted like, oh yeah, we're nodding kind of in a way, like we acted like we understood what the heck was going on, but we didn't really. Okay, week 1, IPython, where's my IPy? There we go. All right, you come out and you come out. Yes, keep both, thank you. Bye. Okay, so now I have 2 IPython notebooks right here on my desktop, 1, and then another one is named number 2, whatever. Doesn't matter if there's a space or not, I'm just OCD. So I'm going to desktop. What do I type to load IPython notebooks? How do we spell Jupyter? With a Y, right? Ju-Py, P-Y, like Python. It's some horribly mangled acronym. It's like, I don't even know what it stands for, but it's P-Y for Python, not kidding. Jupyter, you can't read this small text, but that's P-Y, Jupyter Notebook. Enter. The question is, if you have multiple Jupyter Notebook files, what do? Well, it'll come up, the other one should have come up, but you can have, oh, I typed it in wrong. Okay, let's fix that. I suck. Here we go. Right here. So Python 2 notebook. Yeah, thing. What are you talking about? Here we go. Get out. No. End. I never use this to save my life. All right, get out. Thank you. Jupyter Notebook. Here we go. They're both listed. You could have 100. They're all listed. You click the one you want. Now that file I showed you that was static is now dynamic. I can say, x equals 5. And then here I can do whatever. Print x plus 10. What do we expect to see? 15. We got it. It's interactive. It's dynamic. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Why on, okay, brought up your account.
What did?
Well, this is just GitHub on a browser, going to the web. This is you.
Yeah, but you did it.
I did it.
Okay, gotcha. Why
can I not see, remember you added this, why can I not see that? Is it private or the permissions or why?
You mistyped it. It's DSI, not DSP.
Okay, but even when I put in the DSI, it still doesn't. That was just even though they do that, it's still the same thing.
Why? I don't have an answer because that should not be a private. Oh, you know what it is?
What?
It is because
you
it's.
haven't.
It is a private repo. So the source of that came from G School.
Correct.
Is a private repo. You have to have authorization to see it.
Do you?
So even when I fork it, it remains private to anyone but me or the parent, which is G School.
Can you turn it on public or not?
No, if it comes from a private source,
private.
right? Because think about it. I could take the private source, I could copy it, and then I could just make it public to anyone, and that is no go, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can pull private to private and see it privately.
Well, when you make it on, so when I log in with my account, whether the source was private or the source was public, I get to see it. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Whether some visitor to my profile gets to see it depends on whether it was private or public at the source.
Okay, and then the source sets those permissions basically?
That is correct.
Is that Travis, more or less, when he sends me the email?
That is not Travis. That is much higher up on the hierarchy that sets that.
when I get permissions and all my stuff from Travis, will I be able to look at this? May or may not be able to.
Right, his permissions will absolutely let you, because what he's doing is, so like here's the galvanized repo that's private. He's giving you a direct link to the private one and permission, so you get that.
But nothing I can do till I get.
You can't look at mine because it's private.
Yeah.
But
I can do.
did you not get it yet? Send me your. Oh yeah, are you in Slack yet?
No.
Okay. Right here. Write your email for me,
Okay,
and
sure.
I will get you hooked up at least with GitHub. I don't think I can do the Slack part,
Let me just do this here.
but I'll get you hooked up on the GitHub. All right. Yeah. Do it.